cut. It's like cut. Yo, you grabbing that? I need a blast.
Hey guys, this is Gian, editor for Wayward Son. Today we're catching up with Alex Hutchinson, creative director for Ubisoft's new game, Far Cry 4. So
Sure.
I'm here with Alex Hutchinson from Ubisoft. He's the creative director for Far Cry 4.
Far Cry 4.
Yeah, so just tell me a little bit more about the game and what is sort of different from Far Cry 3 moving on to Far Cry 4.
So obviously, it's a franchise, so we try to keep everything that people love from Far Cry 3 and expand on it and improve on it. But there's a huge amount of new stuff, not just a new location to explore and new story, new missions, all that sort of stuff. The two big things I'm really excited about are, one, you can now bring your best friend into the open world in co-op. So you can invite them at any time, it's in the same game, it's not an alternate mode, so all your progress is saved, and you can jump in with multiple people or just one friend, play all of it, play 5 minutes of it, so I think it's really flexible and really cool. The other one is there's more choice in the narrative this time around, so you have to pick, even though you're going to sort of tackle Pagan Min and his control of Kyrat, you're going to pick different leadership groups for the Golden Path, and that changes your mission objectives, sometimes it changes your whole mission, it changes the ending of the game as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, Far Cry has always been known to be very visually stunning and building a whole world around the characters and things like that. Can you tell me about the world of Far Cry 4? Because it seems to be set in a different place.
Yeah, so we sort of joke that the lead character in any Far Cry game is the place. And Kyrat is heavily inspired by the Himalayas, by Tibet, by Kathmandu. So it's still colourful and epic and varied and filled with animals, but this time it's a lot more vertical. So you need to use a grapple, you need to use a gyrocopter, you need to find new ways to traverse the space.
Yeah. Now, I haven't actually had the chance to play the game yet, but tell me a little bit about the elephants.
Everyone loves the elephants. Yeah, so our game director, Pat Mete, early on decided he wanted weaponized pachyderms, so that was his goal for the game. Yeah. And it's just a minor feature, but it seems to have resonated with people, so that's cool. You can ride them. Not many people remember that elephants can swim, so they're kind of like little hovercraft that you can ride over land and through water as well.
So that's a little extra hint there.
A little extra bit, yeah. Use it. Go through some lakes. Yeah. They're also extremely tough, so you can use them to sort of toss enemies around and destroy parts of the world. So they're very much embedded in the fantasy of the game. Yeah.
I hear you talk about a lot about systematic gameplay and how it's very important. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that actually is and why you feel like that's one of the most important things in the games?
Yeah, well, I think it's what makes us unique as an art form is that we allow players to express themselves. So I like as much as possible to step back and let the game offer opportunities and different weapons, different vehicles, different encounters, different directions to approach a challenge from, and let you as a player structure your own experience. And so when you have a personal experience and you've personalized your gameplay and made it unique, I think we're making a game. And anytime you're going down a very linear, controlled space, doing exactly what a designer's asked you to do, I just think it's not playing to the strengths of the medium.
Yeah, and just as I was saying before, you've sort of hopped onto Far Cry 4, which is the 14th series. Was there any sort of hurdles you had to jump over because the team's already being very established?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tricky. Like, it's a franchise, so luckily it's a healthy franchise, so people are excited and passionate about the game. Yeah. And game teams are relatively similar. Usually they're smart people and passionate people, and it's always nice to have a mix of people who have a history in the franchise and some new blood, because you have a window to come in as an observer and say, all right, this is how I felt, and have discussions with the guys, and hopefully you can find new angles and new opportunities.
Yeah. So what was it like? This is my baby, and I got to protect this baby. Or...
No, I mean each project is unique, especially in a Far Cry game. Each one is its own unique island of gameplay and story. So no, I think as much as possible you want to treat it like a standalone project, even though it shares themes and it shares mechanics with previous games, and you want to keep it fresh.
Okay. And what should we be excited about Far Cry 4? What are some of your favorite things about the game?
I think people should be excited about how much opportunity opportunity they have to do what they want. You know, you can get your friend to fly up in a gyrocopter and throw your grapple and swing from it underneath. You can both ride elephants through an encampment. You can play it stealth or action or a bit of both. There's a huge amount of side content this time around, so you can find all kind of crazy secondary characters who have their own little stories. It's a huge world to explore, filled with secrets and you know, different things to collect and discover. And I think the characters are funny too. I think people will have fun with playing them in.
Yeah, that's cool. I think one of the angles that we sort of do with my blog, which is Wayward Son, is we like to inspire like our readers to do their own thing and to, you know, because we're actually based on the idea of upwardly mobile men, sort of in that space where they're still trying to, you know, make their mark in the world.
Yep.
So you started off around 23, was it?
Yeah, I got into business. I think I was very early 20s.
Very early 20s, yeah. So what's sort of changed since that time? Like, what's new in terms of challenges? What did you have to go through to get to where you are?
It's been a crazy, you know, 15 years or thereabouts. You know, a lot of work, a lot of overtime. The business is always evolving, so that's what's exciting. Where, you know, we started out, and then, you know, online has become something that's just a given in any game.
Yeah.
You know, the power of the consoles and PCs have increased exponentially, so we can do so much more. I think the industry's found its feet in terms of understanding what makes games special more than we did. You know, we're not trying to make movies with buttons in them as much anymore, which I like. But yeah, no, it's a huge challenge, and I moved countries 3 times, and you know, you're always reinventing yourself and trying to stay relevant.
Yeah.
You know, we used to joke. We were joking the other day. You know, that when I was 23, I was like, oh, you couldn't do this job in your 30s. You know, and you do it in your 30s, and oh, you couldn't do this job with kids, and you're doing it with kids. So, you know, I like the fact that it's matured as an industry, not just in terms of the content, but also in terms of it's a bit more professional than when I started.
Yeah.
It's less Wild West.
Yeah. So, well, obviously now you've moved on to a few other companies. Like I was just talking about Assassin's Creed 3, and I think you did Sims 2.
Yeah, I did Sims 2, Spore, Army 2
Spore.
40th Day, Assassin's 3, and now Far Cry 4.
Yeah, so basically just every addictive game that you could ever have.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully. Very different though. People sometimes like, you worked on The Sims? It's very different to Far Cry, but yeah, I mean, interactivity shares a lot, you know, even if the content is radically different.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great. So, what's next? What are you working on next for?
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Like, I'm working on a tan hopefully next week, so that's the goal. Is take a week off and relax.
Yeah.
And then we're
a tan in Montreal, and you're eating.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm thankfully going to a beach. Take the wife and kid on a holiday. So that's next, and then we're back to discussing, you know, what's next for Far Cry, and also, you know, hopefully some crazy new ideas. A new IP would be fun.
Yeah.
So Far Cry 4 is out on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, and PC worldwide on November 18. And we, as a whole team, look forward to seeing the kind of crazy adventures you're going to have.